Then I'll
Okay, let's start it. A little after 8 here. Enough of the chatting here. Let's go.
We're excited parents.
I know, it's been a while. It's been a little bit wild. Gotta catch up.
We're just a while like a fridge.
So good morning, everyone. We'll call the Oneida County Industrial Development Agency meeting to order. I don't believe that we have a need for executive session. I've not heard from anybody, but if anyone would like to go into executive session, can I have a motion? All right, we'll go. So we have minutes from March 27th in your packet. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion. Thank you, James. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Franklin. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Financial review. Rachel?
Rachel's not here.
Okay.
She included the financials.
Yep.
I think one of the key things is that she listed in the document, Tim, just pick it up. My computer cleared her slow. From a closing standpoint, I don't think we closed on, what is it?
May 15th.
No, May 15th. Yeah, you said March. I'm like, we're not in March. Sorry. The projects that closed was the Hanger Road, and so that was an income in April. Assured information closed in March, but I point that out because that one took so long.
240 phase 5 should have closed.
But I don't think that reflects in,
As of April 30th.
yes. So I think, you know, from a comparison, we're up a little, and I think that is driven by the pilot payments that came in. But I know we're on track, compared year to year.
Any questions on the financials?
And I apologize, Rachel didn't give us one of her fabulous PowerPoints.
That's all right. We'll get it. We'll get her back next week. Okay. Item number 4. Consider a supplemental resolution relating to the Chobani LLC facility authorizing the extension of the project inducement for a period of 1 year and authorizing the form and execution of related documents subject to council review.
So, Kevin, who's on now, but Kevin provided me an update last week. The architectural component is still kind of moving forward, but their national council has submitted to EPA a draft prospective purchaser agreement, which provides Chobani additional protection under CERCLA. And that would also, flow down to the agency. So making sure that those environmental protections are there within construction activities. So Chobani's been advised that the execution of the leases with the county and the commencement of site work could impair, if not eliminate, the ability of Chobani to obtain the protection contemplated by the PPA. So that's why they are still kind of in this holding pattern. But again, Kevin is here to address any other questions, but that's kind of the state of the project right now. Still moving forward,
Okay.
albeit slowly.
Yeah.
Slower than we expected.
Yeah, okay. Any questions? Comments? Kevin, did you want to add anything at this point or as is?
No, I think that Tim identified the information that I provided to him. We, pursuant to discussions with the county and CNS, who is the county's engineering firm on this, we tested the site for PFAS. And while there are limited regulations on PFAS in the future, we anticipate the expansion of regulation of these chemicals. They were known to be on the site because of the proximity to what was called the fire protection training area. So we tested sites down gradient of that, both in the triangle parcel and in the golf course, and had positive hits at every test location. And since all we basically had with EPA or any agency of the federal government were clauses in the 2004 deeds from the Air Force to the county. The company, Chobani, hired Hogan Lovells, a national firm, to take this to another level, to make it very clear how the future use of this site and modification of the soils would be reacted to, let's say, by the EPA. We did not get strong assurances at the outset that even our site work would be acceptable. And of course, no project can occur without movement of some dirt and trenching and creation of foundations. So when we realized that we did not have complete protection, then we moved to this level of seeking this agreement, which would then require us to comply with the terms of the agreement, including things like a site management plan, how dirt would be handled, etc., and then protection for Chobani and its successors. So we appreciate your consideration of the extension of the time. Someone within the last few weeks asked me if we would expected an answer from the EPA in the next couple of weeks, and of course, I honestly found that to be comical. If you take a look at how long it has taken the county at various different times to obtain approvals from any federal agency, I don't expect this to be a couple of week resolution.
Gotcha. Okay, any other questions for Kevin? No. Appreciate your being here and explaining it, so thank you.
I'm glad to. Really appreciate the consideration here.
One motion. So can I have a motion to
I'll move
approve?
it.
Second, thank you. Second, James. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, item number 5. Consider an inducement resolution relating to the Griffiths Local Development Corporation Building 770 through 774 facility pilot extension request granting preliminary approval for financial assistance in the form of abatement of real property tax valued at approximately $510,536, which financial assistance is a deviation from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy and authorizing the agency to conduct a public hearing. Seems like they have a lot going on with these buildings.
So, and I appreciate, this week has made me appreciate Julie's presence even more, because there's a couple things that I overlooked that just, adding to this resolution, clarifying that the extension is for a period of 10 years and that the agency has made a secret determination, and also that this resolution would waive application fee and closing fees, which is consistent with past GLDC projects. So sorry if that was left off of the original agenda, but so this building is the one at the western end of Technology Heights. It's where BAE is their tenant. Currently, ICANN is a tenant. They'll be moving across the street, and Kubrick will be moving into that space. But the continuation of this pilot is one to enable these projects all happening up here with ICANN's daycare facility and the continued presence of Kubrick and BAE, and just to kind of preserve the quote unquote competitive ability of Griffiths Local Development Corporation to lease office space here at Griffiths. Obviously, a pretty finite universe of office space that we have to control and to rent out and to make Griffiths the vibrant park that it is. So those are the reasons that we are continuing the imposed benefits here for a period of 10 years. The abatement would stay at the current level of 75% of taxes due. So we're just going to continue on that course.
What was concerning with what I read was, what could possibly happen with the lease negotiations, right, with BAE. So is there anything that we know about other than that was in there? I mean, it sounds like,
So, their lease in that space is, Sean, I don't know if you remember, but it's on the books for still several more years. So that is secure, and they do
I
have,
thought it said 27.
I think that was one of the,
That one, the early one,
sorry,
that one of the early lengthy leases.
maybe so they have a lease across the street as well, and maybe I'm confusing the expiration of that one.
was 27.
So that, if I have mixed up the buildings, then, we obviously will have to those negotiations sooner than later. But yeah, again, this is part of the reason that we'd be extending this to make sure that the space is still cost competitive and that they wouldn't be removing themselves from that space.
My understanding is they're gonna be looking to do an extension. We're trying to bring the two BAE leases in alignment. One of the challenges BAE is running into is just getting out of the federal government, the contracts, and just ensuring that they're stable. From our conversations with the Air Force Research Lab, they can't guarantee, but they said there is that definite continuation. BAE uses that always as leverage, just due to the fact of the fear of the Air Force pulling out those contracts. And I think that the thing that I would just add, if you don't mind, is I've used this saying as I'm trying to get everybody to do their part on this ICANN deal to get these 64 slots. And, I think it's very important that we remember that we're trying to be sure to help preserve the overall park. And one of the things, if you look at the mission statements, is GLDC is there to help support and keep the military installations. I would make note that Nice Tech and the Air Force Research Lab did a childcare study, and they encountered in 70 slots immediately. Unfortunately, 64 only scratches the surface. My question to, I was, can you do more spots? But I know that's asking a lot with, we got the construction costs back. And thankfully, we're in alignment with what the grant dollars are offering us.
Any other comments or questions? I have a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll move it.
Thank you, Tim. Second,
Second.
Dave. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Good. Item number 6, consider a seeker resolution relating to the Bartell Machinery Systems LLC facility expansion. The town of Lee acted as lead agency and determined the project is unlisted action, and the agency wishes to concur with the findings and the determination of the lead agency. There's a nice summary of the project that was in the packet. So it looks like a nice increase, and we have some folks from Bartell here. Welcome, thank you. So I have a motion to approve the seeker. Motion. Thank you, James. Second.
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item number 7, consider an inducement resolution relating to the Bartell Machinery Systems LLC facility expansion, granting preliminary approval for financial assistance in the form of exemptions from sales tax valued at $350,000 and abatement of real property tax on the increase in assessment resulting from the project for a period of 10 years, valued at approximately $119,521, which financial assistance is consistent with the agency's uniform tax exemption policy and authorizing the agency to conduct a public hearing. If you want to talk a little bit about this at all, or anything what we had, or?
Well, business is very strong at Bartell, so this is great news for us. I know oil and gas is up, and I don't know if that's your leading segment, but I know that cross industries,
It hasn't been, but it's exploding right now. So we have POs that require us to expand now through 2030. It's like record backlog.
So with that growth, there will be 22 new jobs, and they're ready to get going as soon as time permits.
Nice. That's great. Okay, can I have a motion to approve? James, second.
A second.
Tim, thank you. Any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carry. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for all you do.
Is that all you need us for? Moving on.
Go back.
I like listening to it going.
You're always.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So being that that was just approved, it's okay for us to make a public announcement of the project?
So, yeah, this is, public meeting, so you can say that the,
Oh, no.
yeah. It's been approved for inducement, yep.
Is there any ESD money?
We haven't applied for any state assistance. Not that, you told us anyway.
Yep, go forward and
Appreciate it.
make it public. Thank you, congratulations.
I will.
I gotta tell you, Bartel, always give you a solid application, a solid project.
Yeah, that's
Every
great.
expansion we've done with them.
Yeah, that's great.
It's nice having that.
Yeah, sure is solid business.
Item number 8, consider a seeker resolution relating to the Long Company NPF EFRAP grant. The agency acted as lead agency and determined the project is an unlisted action. Again,
So hopefully this is the last resolution that has to come before the agency with
Don't say
this
that.
project. I know.
Uh,
But in order for a financial benefit to be conferred to the business, according to state law, the agency had to adopt a secret resolution. So that's why we had to undergo this part of the process, and now we can move ahead with the grant agreement with DOT.
motion,
Motion.
Veronica, thank you. Second,
Second.
Kristen. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, item number 9, consider a resolution relating to the B240 LLC Air City Lofts Phase 1 facility, consenting to 2 new commercial subleases, Cafe Vinci and Liquor Express. Gotta have a liquor store. All those apartments.
That's right.
The legitimate question.
That's Express. but-
Yeah, I haven't seen the renderings. I don't know how upscale.
Just looking for a place to buy better booze, that's all, I'm just.
Maybe you can beat the grand opening, Kim.
No, that's a crowd.
Sorry.
All right, so as technically building owner, I guess we have to approve these, right? So, can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, consider a resolution relating to the GLDC Building 796 facility, consenting to the sublease of a portion of the building to ICANN and authorizing the form and execution of related documents subject to council review. This is across the street.
Yep.
We're going.
So again, they're going from down the street to across the street to accommodate the childcare project that they're undertaking.
They're down the street, I'll see.
They had offices down
Just
the
an
street,
office.
and yeah, they'll be moving some offices.
Offices will be upstairs,
Yeah.
downstairs will be the childcare portion and some clinical.
So they're taking the whole building?
Yeah, the
796
Yeah.
portion. Yes. The adjacent 798 will remain BAE.
Motion to approve?
Move it.
Thank you, Tim. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Veronica. All in favor? Opposed? Consider a resolution relating to the GLDC master lease facility, consenting to a license from GLDC to National Grid in furtherance of the Chobani project. License from GLDC to the County of Oneida relating to the Dilutus Baseball Field Complex and authorizing the form and execution of related documents subject to council review. Yes, project for this
Do we have to
magnitude.
give anything to National Grid?
Do we what?
Do we have to give anything?
Yeah.
The license.
Yes, we still need to. There we go.
Motion to approve,
Motion.
second,
Okay.
somebody. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Item number 12. Finally. Consider a resolution adopting a revised uniform tax exemption policy for housing projects. The agency provided all affected tax jurisdictions with a copy of the proposed policy invited comments, and conducted a public hearing on April 28th, 2026. Did we have any comments from the hearing?
There were no attendees at the hearing, and I also did not, neither Julie nor I received any written comments from any of the taxing jurisdictions. So,
Shock.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's somewhat
Straightforward.
complicated too.
Well,
It's different.
Yes.
It's, so it's not, it's good. Is there? If this passes, my concern is that, because we've done this kind of thing before, it passes and sits on the shelf. So what's the plan?
I wouldn't worry about that since I've talked to about 15 different
Well-
developers who've asked me when we're gonna pass it.
No, but I mean,
in
is
5
there,
days.
is there plans to, conduct a, like a presentation about it?
Yeah, so,
As a vote, and I don't mean just like a, press release.
We'll certainly
Last
do-
about 5 seconds.
yeah, we'll certainly do, we'll certainly work, we'll certainly don't want that off, I don't want to. Yeah, we'll certainly work with you guys and the county to, announce it and do that, right? And then I think from there, what also ends up happening is we end up having to send that, or you guys send it, or we send it here, or we'll send it out of my office or somewhere, but, every assessor has to get the policy, they have to do that. Then the housing plan also consists of advisory boards and all that jive, and that's how we'll start to disseminate that way. Make that, official. Also, we have a resource page there that's involved in that too, which it'll go on, and we continue to kind of engage with the different components of housing to let them know. So it's a wide variety of those things. I do think we have the county has a housing municipal guide that just got sent out to everybody again. We announced it, we did press, as you said, but we also sent it to every single municipality. I imagine we do that very thing, or you guys can do that very thing here. They need to, the municipalities need to know first so that they understand, what their role is in that regard. But I can tell you that the interest, I mean, I didn't talk to them, obviously, for a good reason, but the feedback and emails and contact since the state of the county alone, let alone the bustling public hearing we had on this, but the state of the county alone, there has been, interest has been flying around too. So we because of our constant engagement through the housing plan, a lot of developers and municipalities that we've engaged with through that process know this is part of the plan. So we'll just continue to do that, and we could certainly, you guys or Tim or whoever, certainly could present that in different places as we move through the housing plan, because a lot of it's stakeholder stuff.
Yeah, right.
And we have seen too, like early on draft applications of housing projects that, obviously, if it passes today, then would be
They're coming.
subject to the new.
Yeah, we knew it was gonna work because, which is the value of doing the plan, right? Knew it was gonna work because every time we had stakeholders in a room, they're like, it would be nice. And so that's part of it. And so we just have to keep telling people, which you're right, you don't want it to sit there and do nothing. I don't think that it will, especially when you combine it with the other program. I think that the other county program that the county executive mentioned in the state of the county, which has to be fleshed out a little bit, it's kind of a slightly moving target, but between the two, the people that do this stuff pay attention and see it and are interested in it.
Plus,
Let's continue to talk to them.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, communication.
I'm all for just trying to think about, as you're saying it, we'll always do the normal stuff, but then I'm trying to think about other ways in which we can do that and make sure we're letting people know it exists.
Legislator Scheibel has done, community
I got one on
Meetings.
June something,
And so
yeah, for him.
back in, I think it was this past December, he did a housing specific one for the west side of the.
Yeah, I was there for that.
And
And
so was I. And so now this is another thing that we can bring into a discussion like that.
in fact, I was gonna do it on May 18th. He postponed it to June, now that you mentioned it, June something, I can't remember off the top of my head. So we'll talk about that there with a group of people that come to that. It's like I don't know, it's like a Western United County Gulf Street. stakeholder meeting, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it, but Keith England convenes that, and there's other ones like that too. We gotta make sure we get that to them, to the Chamber of Commerce, so on and so forth.
We can make
Sure,
sure
but disseminating appropriate.
Mohawk Valley Mohawk Valley Builders Exchange.
Yeah.
Is Tracy Page still there?
Yes.
Mhm.
I have a couple questions. First of all, on a definitional issue, on the eligibility projects, and you've got modular and prefab homes, does that include manufactured houses?
Yes.
I think you should add that term. Have a client that builds those around the country, and the terminology is important for local governments. And if you don't put manufactured in there, because it's a little different than modular.
Yeah, we had lumped it into the prefab section, but we can,
Yeah.
more is better than less.
And secondly, and I did have contact, my client is from Connecticut about this. And he said that, the problem is not so much marketing developers, it's the local government code people. And they're parochial in their nature, and they won't change. And if there's a vagueness in the code regulations, they're tight on them.
Yeah, so you should direct your client and for everybody here, I just mentioned it. Put together out of the planning department, a guide for municipalities, planning boards, supervisors, zoning board of appeals, all the pieces of the cog in the wheel of the type of codes and zones that need to happen if you're trying to do certain types of housing. You're trying to, can't make them do anything. So you gotta try to guide them through options to update their zones and codes so that it streamlines their ability to allow for new housing. Now,
The county attorney's office willing to help the local governments in changing. the
county
code?
attorney's office, as you know, Dave, is not gonna give legal advice to another municipality, period.
No, but they.
But the planning departments,
Help though.
the planning departments, they all got attorneys, planning department's willing to help them. And the county executive's office has already sent it out. He's sending out a letter, I think, goes out today to every municipality to make sure that they know that they have it. They do have it already, but he's doing it again. We will go on the road to any municipality that wants, or planning board or zoning board of appeals, or a codes department or whoever, we made that clear, that wants it explained, that wants help in understanding it. The toolbox is there, and we're happy to help them, show them how to use the tools.
I think that the
Yeah.
problem is getting them to want to do it. And the infrastructure is probably the biggest problem, and
Depends what, yeah, I mean, that's part of it, but I gotta tell you, it's not as much that, I mean, that's always part of it, right? In developing anything, as we all know it here, but the bigger, most pertinent regulatory issue for them is that their zones and codes are super outdated. Their setbacks are are too much of a pain, and that means more infrastructure, because the further your setback, the farther the pipes gotta go. Their codes are not always up to date the way that they should be. They don't have things like uniform base codes and other things of that nature. They don't allow certain types of housing, which is exclusionary, which you're not allowed to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those are all in that guide to show them how to help coach up how to do this if you want. But I'll tell you what the bigger thing is, other than all of those things, is some municipalities don't want more housing. And you can't make them want it. But they can't be exclusionary, but a lot of them do want it. And the ones that do just need to think about certain parking requirements, for example. Allowing a 3D printed home, which sounds silly maybe to some, but it's not. They're doing them all over the country, right? Their codes and zones are not built for that. So we've created a document that we're happy to help them with, that will show them how to update appropriately so that their zones and codes match the reality of what it takes to build new houses. And we're happy to talk to them ad nauseum about it anytime they're ready. We're not gonna write their codes for
they're
them.
not gonna ask you, Jim. I think that's what the problem.
Well, we're asking them.
Okay, we do need housing. There's absolutely no question.
Yeah, I mean, but I think there
And
are
that's right.
obstacles.
By the way, some of them have asked us. So I mean, that's, I mean, some of them have, and we're happy to. We have a training for planning boards. I'm gonna botch the time, but it's in the summer sometime. And we usually get for those trainings, because people on planning boards have to do a certain numbers of training, right? A year it's required in order to be on those boards. So it's a captive audience, housing is on that agenda, that municipal guide is on that agenda, this pilot will be on there. To just, pilot just to explain that it exists, but obviously, that will be one where they are kind of forced to listen, so we'll do that. I think the last training we did had a couple hundred people at it, so planning boards around our county and Herkimer, even though this won't necessarily apply to them, but this won't, but the municipal guide doesn't apply to them either really, but they certainly could use it. So we'll do things of that nature and continue to kind of do it that way. I don't disagree with you, but I can't force people to what they care about.
I agree.
I can't, so if I could, I would.
Anything else?
But
Dave?
a lot of these towns don't have,
Yeah.
legal advice that focuses on code. They're focusing on a lot of other things, not just on that, so there's no real, at least my experience is there's no real pressure to change those because that creates problems within the constituency.
Yeah, I mean, we've done and worked on, I think, 5 or 6 comp plans over the last couple of years with municipalities. I mean, we have 26 towns. We've worked on 5 or 6. I mean, they do it. They do it. They need some legal help maybe, but they've all got the same 6 county, all the same 6 town attorneys, so.
Well, I think there's no question that this, I mean, at the state of the county, after all the introductions and everything, this was the first thing out of Tony's mouth was.
It's very important.
Gonna happen.
Right.
So
Yep.
it sounds like it's, at the top of his.
It is very much, we will be talking about it quite a bit.
Right,
Yep.
right. Any other comments or questions?
So the policy will just be, and I guess it'll reflect in the minutes that manufacturer will
Yeah,
be added to the policy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, can I have a motion to approve with that change?
Motion.
Thank you, James. Second.
Second.
Dave, thank you. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I'd like to thank James's office for their help in putting this together. as well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It's all came together.
Good teamwork.
Agreed.
Okay, item number 13,
Big addition.
late addition, not a big deal, no. Approve a correction to resolutions adopted by the agency on November 18th, 2025 and December 12th, 2025 relating to the Pro Trade Garages LLC facility due to a clerical error in one section of the application for financial assistance. The resolutions reflect the value of mortgage recording tax exemption is $9,000, with representations contained elsewhere in the application confirm the correct value is $9,600. Small
Move it.
change. Thank you, Dave. Second.
Second.
Tim, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other business to come before the board?
Can I give you one?
Sure.
In executive session?
Pardon?
In executive
Related
session, related to pending contracts and potential future pilots.
Okay. Motion to go into executive session.
Move it.
Thank you, Tim. Second.
Second.
We have,
Franco.
for what purpose?
She said pending contracts.
Make this in the motion.
Yeah, that's perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There's
Can you pause the recording?
anybody on there? We gotta go. Erica, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you being here. I didn't really recognize you were up there because you're on the far right of our screen.
All good. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, thank you.
So staff is.
Our next meeting is, June 26th. Good. I have a motion to adjourn. Move it. Second. Thank you. All in favor? Okay. We'll open the meeting of the Oneida County Local Development Corporation. I don't believe we have a need for executive session. Minutes are from March 27th, 26th. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion. Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Financial review, you have the report in front of you. It's pretty easy to read. Not a lot going on at
Not
this
much.
point. So if there's any questions, we can deal with them with Rachel next month. You're done. Considering a resolution adopting a video conferencing policy, the agency conducted a public hearing on April 28th, 2026. Sure, that was a very exciting, well-attended hearing. And I have a motion to approve the policy.
Move it. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then lastly, we adopted, we have to ratify a resolution regarding relating to our governance policies that we adopted on December 12th of 2025. Same form as we did with the IDA. Changes are necessary to conform policies to LDC governance. The final policies have been provided to the board members and the agency wishes to ratify them. So motion to ratify.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any old business?
Got nothing.
Motion to adjourn.
You could all sit here and read the audits.
Yes, nothing.
We'll take turns. Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Pull around, kids.
It is something.
Have a good weekend.
Bye, Lisa.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Erica.
I don't want to kick you back into executive session, but I do want to let you know that